Now, stock, I have a couple complaints about the 2511T, 14-inch nano setup. This is so dumb. On a lot of steel saws, it's, I think, an inferior design on the... Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and do some much needed upgrades on both of these saws. And there's also one more secret upgrade that I'm gonna talk about at the end on this 2511T. As we get started with this process, I'm going to describe what I'm doing and what the advantages are. Let's go ahead and start with this battery saw here. Both of these saws are professional top handles. We're going to call them micro chainsaws. Both of these saws also came with 3/8 low profile. The 2511T performed significantly better once I changed it to nano. Do the same thing on this 2500T. All of these parts are available on sawsuppliers.com. I think that you'll find that the best prices are available there. There is links in the description. If you use my discount code, you get fantastic deals on Echo equipment, free shipping on stuff like this and Bel Rays. They can get you parts for your saws. This is going to be the part for the Nano Conversion on the 2500T. If you've been here a while, you'll be impressed to know that I actually used compressed air to clean these saws up rather than just super clean. I do like the super clean option, but as many of you have said, compressed air does a pretty fine job. I cleaned them up and then put them back together for video purposes. I will say this has the inboard clutch design, whereas the other saw does not. So swapping out the drum ought not be too difficult. I like that. Right there on it, it says 325. Let's see what this one, see if this says anything on it. Oh, that one says 3/8. That's nice. No mistaking on that. No mistaking which one's which. This is one of the earliest videos in my new filming setup. What do you guys think about it? Pinch it right there. I try not to use a screwdriver for this because I find that they fly. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this off. Very good. Very, very simple. Because this is not an internal combustion engine, this saw, when it's not running, is not idling. So there is no clutch bearing. There's detents on the inside of these drums, and it basically locks on here. One thing else I'm noticing is apparently you don't have to worry about the clutch drum engaging with the oiler because it's done on the back side of it. That's a difference between this saw and the 2511. Okay, so there's the 325 sprocket on there. How much easier can this get, everybody? Wow, I like that. Talk about a quick upgrade, huh? Okay, so there we are. All right, so we've already swapped this just in a matter of moments. This is going to basically, it should be a tremendous upgrade over the 3/8 low profile. That will likely never go back on this saw. I don't know how much easier that could have been, really. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen how much better this saw performed with this change, you got to make sure you check out that video. Millions of views about these saws right here. This is what's going on the battery saw. Again, all this stuff is available at sawsuppliers.com. Both of these bars are both made by Oregon, but let me tell you something. I really like how those look. I like the paint on them. Oregon, good job. I kind of like the old Echo style where it was black with white lettering. I wish they would bring that back. All right, hey, interesting thing here. This is very interesting, actually. Though Oregon makes both of these bars, this one has a place to put oil in it. This one does not. That's interesting. Very interesting. Huh. It seems like there's a weight difference. I'm not going to get down to the nitty-gritty on that. Let's go ahead and get this on the saw here. Oh man, this is fantastic. I'm absolutely excited. In a moment, we'll be taking a look at the 2511T, and you'll see what we're doing on that. That one's getting a little bit of a smaller upgrade, and then we're talking about a major upgrade. There's a reason why this box is here. Gosh dang, I'm struggling. Guys, again, there's really big things happening on the channel. Make sure you stay tuned. Of course, we are going to be doing chainsaw-oriented stuff, but we've got more coming, and I think it's all going to be applicable to firewood, saws, land development, all of that. So make sure you stay tuned. This is ridiculous. I can't even get this on. I've never had this much trouble on this small of a chain before. There we go. That's what you need. All right. That took a little bit too long for someone showing you how to do something with chainsaws, wouldn't you say? Gotta love these captured bar nuts, everybody. There's a lot of people that get very offended if you talk about how easy it is to mount a clutch cover on a saw that has the adjuster in the cover rather than in the saw. I'm gonna stand by it. I think it's way better personally. I really do. Somebody said, "What are you whining about?" I don't know. I'm whining that on a lot of steel saws. It's, I think, an inferior design on the chain tensioner personally. I like having this flathead right here. The worst design, of course, is an adjuster that's in here, like on my 395. That is the worst by far. Someone's gonna freak out and say, "You put the chain too tight, you put the chain too tight." Wow, look at that. I've already got oil immediately. Look at that. It's already loosened up, everybody. Man. People are so funny. All right. Go ahead and turn that off. This is going to go up on the wall. This also gives you a sneak peek about something else that's coming. We've got a no safety raker 3/8 low profile chain that we will test out at some point here. So that's going to be interesting to see the difference between safety raker and non-safety raker on 3/8 low profile. Another thing you see here is this is a 14-inch nano setup. This is going to go on to the 2511T. Let's talk about that. Now, stock, I have a couple complaints about the 2511T, not the TN. This saw, I think, was not very good with the 3/8 low profile. It just simply wasn't. This is a real easy fix, but if you're going to buy one of these new, get the TN. Again, 10% off at sawsuppliers.com using my discount code. Guys, when you buy stuff through there, it's mind-blowing. It helps me out so much. I'm telling you, the channel, big things have happened. This is part of it. Saw Suppliers has been a huge partner for me. You guys have shown up strong and purchased a bunch through there. And again, that helps me out tremendously. Helps you out. You get the best price plus 10% off the best price. How about that? Plus free shipping. This is not as easy to deal with as it is on the 2500T. That's all it's to it. I'm not going to complain about it. It's not a big deal. But this saw is so compact and so micro that it really is, it's almost like a puzzle to get it off. It's not that bad. All right, this is the nano setup on here already. So this saw, when new, like I said, had the 3/8 low profile. It was not the best experience. That's all it's to it. I have one more complaint about this saw coming out of the box. This is so dumb. They should include the small dogs on this thing. It should have them. So, went ahead and got these. These are very inexpensive. I purchased these at sawsuppliers.com. This came along with that order on the Bel Ray's oil that I had the other day. You haven't seen that video? Little part made in Japan. Look at that little tiny dog. This really, I'm telling you, this ought to come on that saw stock. No reason. It did on the electric saw. The question I have is, can you put this on upside down? I believe it goes that way right there. Let's see if it could flip. I guess in theory you could. It ought to go that way. They thread into plastic. If this was a machine screw, I wouldn't do this, but because it's plastic, I'm going to do it. Gonna help just, yeah. I'm gonna get it started with the drill. I think that's gonna be the best bet. Truly do. All right, here. And then I'll tighten it by hand just so I can feel it real well. This is not the only upgrade we're gonna talk about on this saw. Remember I mentioned I'm gonna go ahead and put that 14-inch bar on here. I'm not gonna do it just yet. Thank you, Aaron Lynch, for this tool. I do miss my clone, but I love my 460. We're not gonna mount the bar and chain back up on this because this is where we transition to what's happening with this saw. So Joe, what is happening that you can't put the bar and chain back on it, that you got the box here, that you got a 14-inch bar that you're not gonna mount? What's happening? Well, I'm shipping this saw off for modification. Everybody, I think that you're gonna be interested to see this coming up here. I'm gonna get this ready to go out. I don't know how long it's gonna take for the process, but I'm extremely thankful for the gentleman that's doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that a secret for the time being. Once we get the saw back, I'm super excited. And you know what? I think then a 14-inch bar makes sense. I don't think that on a stock 2511, a 14-inch bar, besides getting a little bit more reach, you're not gonna wanna cut 12-inch wood with it or 13-inch wood. That's just my honest opinion. And that's even with the Nano. The Nano does help, but the saw without some level of modification, it's powerful, but what's special about this saw is how small it is and how light it is. You see the difference? My intention in getting this sent out is to have it still be small and light, but have it be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more snappy, and be able to go ahead and run that 14-inch bar, no problem at all. I'm going to reuse this box to ship, but I do not want it to say Echo on the outside, so I'm going to try something. Hopefully it works. There you are. So I'm thinking I'm not going to use the factory cardboard because I feel like that's kind of cheesy. You know, I mean, I think obviously that works for new shipments, but I think I've got some better stuff here I'm going to try to use. Oh, got to send the bar and chain. I forgot about that. That would stink. I think that ought to do. Dang it. Gone. Again, I know many of you are probably dying to know where this is going. When I get it back, we'll talk about it and we'll run it. That's going to be the best part, right? I've got a question. Do you think I'm going to keep this actually clutter-free? This is supposed to be my filming area. I want to make this area look real cool. If you have any ideas for me, let me know. My goal is to keep this area very presentable. I've got my 8-foot long bench over there. It's currently cluttered up because I'm still not done in here, fitting in what I can. If you put tools back where they go, it's always better. This is going to be fantastic. We're not going to run it today, but this is brand new Nano chain here on my Echo 2500T. This is going to be nice. I think it's going to be even smoother. These have a narrower kerf, and so they take less wood through the cut, and that is a beautiful thing for speed. So this is going to go ahead and get set aside. This is going to come inside with me so I can go ahead and throw a label on it. I will tell you one tip. It's not going to Super Dave. Though I would have no problem sending it to Super Dave, we're going to work with someone different this time. Give you some feedback about the experience. We'll take a look at the work when it's done, and of course we will run it. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, make sure you subscribe, like, share the video, share it on them Facebook groups and all of that if you could as well. You've been watching the Okie Woodsman channel. Again, my name is Joe, and I'll see you on the next one.